It's AR the Equalizer, the data scientist of boxing, spinning the block for another breakdown. Let's get into it. In today's video, in tonight's video, this afternoon, this evening, this morning, whatever time zone you're in, we are breaking down the Terence Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence Jr. welterweight undisputed showdown. We are breaking it down, and I must say that Terence Crawford showed me everything. He showed all of us all of what we need to know about his boxing ability and why he is the best boxer in the world. This was total domination from round one round one, he started slow, but he picked it up in round two. And up until the point of the stoppage, it was just total domination. Errol Spence had no answer for the traps and the tricks that Terence Crawford was showing. And sadly, Terence Crawford didn't even go into a second gear, people. Terence Crawford did not get into a second gear at all in this fight, people. The man maintained his composure. He didn't exert too much energy. He didn't even have any nervous energy that I seen. And it's crazy that this fight it went like the Nawa Inoue and Stephen Fulton Jr. fight. The heavy favorite gets dominated. So I jump straight into it. Terence Crawford, he didn't look fazed at all by anything that Errol Spence was throwing his way. Errol Spence came forward like how he normally comes forward, high guard, looking to bang away at the body. Terence Crawford was not allowing it. He didn't allow that. Errol Spence, he had some moments, but nothing effective. Terence Crawford, his face at the end of the fight, spotless. He was looking like Pretty Boy Floyd early in his career. How Pretty Boy Floyd used to look. And Errol Spence, it was just a beatdown. And I'm a fan of Errol Spence. And I'll be honest, I was pulling for Errol Spence to win this fight. But as the fight got closer, as I gauged both men's energy from the weigh-in, really the weigh-in told the story. It's seeing the shape that Terence Crawford was in versus the shape that Errol Spence was in. That told me, it gave me an inkling of what I needed to know going into this fight. Errol Spence, he didn't look like he was in the best shape. He wasn't in that Ugas, your Dennis Ugas shape. He wasn't in that Kell Brook shape. You know, it was the shape, it just looked like he just got through the training camp. You know what I mean? Whereas with Terence Crawford, he was cut up. He looked ready. And even the ring entrances, you know, Errol Spence walking first, Terence Crawford walking second, and bringing out Eminem to lose yourself. Like, come on, man. It's all of these cues. And that's not to say, oh, that's why Terence Crawford won the fight. No, I'm not saying that, but it's just the energy. And I got proof, I got receipts. I texted two of my friends right before the bell rung, and I said that Terence Crawford is about to put on a dominant performance. He's going to do his thing. And as you can see on the screen, I'm showing those text messages. I predicted that Terence Crawford would stop Errol Spence in the 11th round or sooner. And the stoppage came in the 9th round. If Harvey Dock would have never stepped in, Derrick James wasn't going to throw on the towel, and Errol Spence wasn't going to go back down. Valiant effort from Errol Spence. Like, Errol Spence, he's still one of the best in my opinion. He can go up to 154 and do damage still. I feel like Errol Spence, he can beat a lot of guys at 154 and still reign as a champion. You know what I mean? It's just that Terence Crawford, he's the best fighter. He's the best boxer in the world. That's just what it is. The best man won tonight, and I'm not mad at it. I got plenty videos breaking down how each guy will be successful in the ring. And one key thing about Errol Spence, I just said that, hey, Errol Spence needs to be the version that he's been against Lamont Peterson and Yordenis Ugas. Come forward strong, you know what I mean? And not just bang away. And I feel like that's what Errol Spence was doing. He got, the game plan wasn't strategic enough, you know what I mean? One of my videos, I said that he'll be very successful if he comes in with purpose, you know what I mean? Not just come forward, but intentionally setting up shots, you know, not just working behind the jab, but a double jab and, you know, a left hook to the body, you know what I'm saying? Or a jab, left hook, then right hook to the body, like different, like mixing up the attacks and mixing in also a little bit of footwork, things of that nature. And, you know, for Terence Crawford, I said that he'll win this fight handily if he boxes from the outside and box like how he knows how to. And Terence Crawford did that, man. He executed this game plan tremendously. And I'm on record saying that, you know, Shakur Stevenson shouldn't be sparring Terence Crawford because he's not going to help Terence Crawford in sparring. And to be honest, like, disregard that video because that sparring session, it meant nothing. You know what I mean? It obviously meant nothing. And I admit that I was wrong about, you know, saying, well, I still feel like Shakur Stevenson couldn't prepare Terence Crawford for, you know, Errol Spence, but I disregard that because, you know, Terence Crawford, whether he spars Shakur Stevenson or not, it didn't affect anything because of the extensive knowledge of the ring that Terence Crawford has. And he was the superior boxer tonight. We're 7 minutes into the video. I don't want to hold the audience too much longer. I just wanted to lay that foundation of how I've been viewing this fight for a long time and a brief overview of how this thing went down. But with no further ado, we're going to jump into round one. Crawford starts the fight from the southpaw stance. Not once did he switch. He remained from the southpaw stance. And also, I'll highlight that in another one of my videos, strategy execution, I said that Terence Crawford should just fight this whole fight from the southpaw stance because switching stances won't make a difference. So I think I know a thing or two about this boxing. But Crawford, he did not switch stances at all in this fight. He just stayed southpaw the whole entire fight. Crawford, he was looking to catch on to Spence's rhythm and punch output in round one. Errol Spence works behind the jab, looking to close the distance, but Crawford clinches whenever Spence gets in close range. Spence is the more active fighter. Round one goes to Spence. And I'll give a spoiler because we already know what the results are, but that's the only round that Spence got. In this round, it was a fill-out round. If you guys know anything about Terence Crawford, he starts his fight slow and he picks up. You know what I mean? He picks up the pace once he gets his fighter figured out. And I believe after one round, that's all it took. All it took was 3 minutes for him to figure out Errol Spence. Maybe it probably only took 30 seconds for him to figure out Errol Spence, but he just had to find out how he'll implement some successful, you know, combination attacks. But we'll discover that in round two. Round two, 1 minute, 15 seconds into round two, Crawford lands a nice 3-punch combination on Spence. The first time we see Crawford actually open up and look to exchange. These were fast and sharp combinations, and to me, it looked like it hit Spence off guard because he didn't see it coming and he got hit with each shot from the head to the body, back to the head. Picking up on the rhythm of Errol Spence, Crawford loosens up as Spence continues to work behind the jab. 15 seconds left in the round. Spence goes down for the first time in his career from a counter straight left hand. Crawford takes round two, 10-8 round. And from this point, it was just downhill. It was just downhill from this point. Yes, Spence, he continued to, you know, come forward and fight with a valiant effort, but in my opinion, Crawford had him figured out. Spence made no adjustments. You know, he didn't show any superior boxing ability from the outside. It's just, he showed that he was very one-dimensional in this fight. Just being honest, he showed that he was very one-dimensional. And like I said in previous videos, he should not try to box Terence Crawford but bang away, because he can't box with Terence Crawford. He'll get picked apart. That's exactly what happened. We'll move on to round 3. It was some pretty intense moments that occurred in this round, because Spence at this point, he knew that he had to go for broke. He knew that he had to just fight. It wasn't about, trying to be tactical and work behind the jab to get inside. No, he was just coming forward, pawing with the jab now. And now he's, getting out of character and just trying to fight. Whereas a lot of us thought that Crawford would get touched with something from Spence and he would try to fight, but it was the exact opposite. Spence was looking for a fire fight, and he continued to get picked apart. Spence is continuing to look for the fight after getting dropped and is finding some success, but Bud Crawford is sharp and accurate, punching in between Spence's attack. Crawford takes round 3 quite handily. We'll move on to round 4. Spence is cut over his left eye and blood is trickling from his nose. The swelling is beginning to amount. Terence Crawford is putting on a counter-punching clinic, and it looks like he's not even breaking a sweat, people. He's just picking Spence apart. As Spence is coming forward, he's just picking him apart from the outside, doing what he wants with him, treating him like a rag doll. Spence looks bewildered, does not have an answer at this stage of the fight. Round 4 goes to Crawford. We'll move on to round 5. It's the same story. A counter-punching clinic. Spence gets a good left hand through the Terence Crawford's guard that got Terence Crawford's attention with 30 seconds left in the round. Nonetheless, Crawford controls this round as well with smart outside boxing, picking his shots selectively, not committing too much, but whenever he do throw a shot, it's hard, it's effective, it's accurate, and now it's starting to back up Spence. Whenever Crawford is landing now, at this point of the fight, Spence is starting to take a step back, because these shots are starting to hurt Spence now. We'll move on to round 6. Another round that's controlled by the superior boxing ability and intangibles of Terence Bud Crawford. Errol Spence's lack of head movement and lack of lateral movement is getting exposed. In this round, this showed me that Errol Spence is really one-dimensional. He only knows how to fight one way, and that's coming forward as if he's banging away on a heavy bag. And Terence Crawford, he wasn't there to sit still to let him bang away. And to be honest, I feel like Terence Crawford actually was showing a little bit of love to Errol Spence, because at this point of the fight, he could have stepped on the gas and stopped him. But Bud is just, boxing him. He's not even stepping forward and trying to really hurt Spence. He's hurting him just by boxing on the back foot and, countering him. Just putting on a boxing clinic, man. And it's starting to really get dark for Errol Spence at this point. And now I'm thinking like Derrick James needs to consider throwing in the towel after round 6. 1 minute into round 7, Spence is floored again from another counter punch exchange. Another straight left hand floors Spence. Another one, it floors Spence. Spence got dominated this round and goes down again as the round comes to a close. 10-7 round for Terence Bud Crawford. Round 8 is looking like deep waters for the biggest fish, and he's drowning. The fight is being totally controlled by Bud Crawford's punch selection and counter-punching ability. 10-9 round for Terence Bud Crawford. We'll skip along to round 9, the final round of the fight. Crawford continues to annihilate Spence with accuracy, sharp accurate punches, great punch selection. Harvey Doc steps in to stop the action with 45 seconds left in the round. Prior to the stoppage, Spence is just eating some hard shots. And this is the round where I believe that Terence Crawford now is starting to step on the gas a little bit and starting to commit to those power shots. And Spence couldn't handle it. His neck was getting snapped all around. Really, all fight, his head was getting snapped. But this round, these were punishing, debilitating blows that he was getting caught with. And it was really hard to watch. You know, I was telling my wife, round 8, they need to stop the fight. It's too much. It's too much. Like, it's a crime scene. You know what I mean? And I'm a fan of both guys. It's no bias with me. You know what I mean? I've been on record saying that, hey, it's a 50-50 fight. It can go either way. You know, if Errol Spence, you know, does his thing, if Errol Spence, you know, is effective with his attack, you know what I mean, applying pressure, cutting off the ring, and being smart and sharp with head movement and everything, and could neutralize Terence Crawford's mobility, you know, Errol Spence, he'll look good. Same with Terence Crawford. I said, yo, it's a 50-50 fight, but Terence Crawford, he can win this fight if he could stay disciplined, fight from the outside, and just outbox Spence, you know, punch in between the exchanges, counter punch, select his shots, and stay disciplined. And Terence Crawford did that, man. I'm really not so much surprised, but it's just, it's a wild moment for me, because I'm like, yo, Terence Crawford really stayed disciplined this whole fight. Not to say that he's never stayed disciplined for an entire fight, but the man stayed disciplined. And like, this man, let's not overlook that Terence Crawford is on this is an 11th straight victory where it's a stoppage or a knockout. That's impressive. Since being at welterweight, he stopped every guy that stepped in the ring with him. That's tremendous. And I definitely want to congratulate Terence Bud Crawford, you know, for being 2-time undisputed at super lightweight, 140 pounds, and now undisputed at welterweight, 147 pounds. It's tremendous. It hasn't been seen before in a 4-belt era, which, you know, started in the year of 2004. Hasn't been seen since then, and it's just remarkable. It's remarkable, and it's history in the making. And I'm just enamored. You know what I mean? I'm soaking up the moment, and I'm really in awe, and I'm shocked at how bad he made Errol Spence look tonight. And that's just what it is, man. 9 rounds. Bud Crawford takes the victory by stoppage, giving honor to the Lord, giving honor to God in a post-fight interview. You know, very humble, no trash talking, you know, no boasting or anything. He just came in to do his work. So I guess that attitude, or it's just another day in the office, I guess it worked out, because the man ain't even going to another gear. You know what I mean? But that's all I got. That's all I got, man. If you guys enjoy the content, please smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell to get notified of the fire that I'm dropping. You know what I mean? Anytime I drop, get notified. Hit that notification bell. Share this content with your boxing family and friends in the community. You know what I mean? It's AR the Equalizer. Family, until next time, it's been real. We out.